This is probably the most complicated part of this part of the bridge building. It requires a little bit of understanding that you're approximating with some closeness, but still approximating the fit here. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take one of my tubes, and I'm just going to pick this particular diagonal strut, and I'm going to make a line that's parallel to the vertical strut where it needs to fit. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it so that it's a looks pretty parallel to this vertical strut. I'm going to take my scissors now, and I'm going to cut that at that angle. And I'm going to push it in and see that that angle is correct. The angle is pretty good, but the top now needs a little bit of trimming. I'm going to trim that, like so. I'm going to test it again, and that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So now I need to fit it at first to length. I'm going to make a line that's parallel to the bottom chord here, and then I'm going to make a line that's roughly parallel. And as I said, you're going to just have to learn to sort of see this. It is best to make them just a tad long and to trim as opposed to cutting them too short. I'm going to see if that fits in there. And that, I think, is pretty much a perfect fit. So we're going to glue that at this time. I'm going to add glue where it's going to meet the vertical struts and the top chord and bottom chord. And we're going to put those in. And that looks good. Take a pin or two. Hold that in place so that they don't turn out of position. You can just push it here and push it here, and it stays nice and straight to the plan. And let's just do one more, and I'll show you how to do it once again, and we'll see that process and the way that it works. So again, I like to fit these. I like to get the top, or it doesn't really matter. You could do the bottom as well. I like to get one end so that it fits really well, and then that helps me locate the length of the total diagonal strut. So that one I didn't do quite as well. I'm going to cut that. So it's a fitting process. That one looks perfect now. And this is just going to require that you take a little bit of time, and maybe you'll make 2 or 3 extra tubes, and you'll just practice until you can make them fit perfectly. There's no harm in making extra tubes. You can turn them in. The bridge's only requirement is that it doesn't use more than 50 tubes. It doesn't have to use a set amount of paper. It takes you 60 sheets to figure it out. As long as there are no more than 50 in the completed bridge, everything is good. So let's try this again. As I said, it's best to have it a little bit long rather than a little bit short. It's better to cut twice. And let's see how that one fits in there. And again, that one looks pretty good. It's not bad. I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to add glue. And I'm going to add glue. And a little more glue. I'm not trying to get a lot of glue in there again. I'd rather go back and add glue than have to clean up glue. It's not to say that you're not, you want to have plenty of glue in terms of, or enough glue that it secures the parts for the next operation. But too much glue requires a lot of cleanup, and then that makes this a more difficult time-consuming process than it needs to be. So I'll take a little break here, and I'll come back and we'll show the completed side, and then I'll show you the next step from there.